breaking news now on Power 102 Digital. Up to date and credible. Power 102 Digital. It is Wednesday, 13th December 2023. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. This is News to 6 a.m. on News Power Digital. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley will attend a meeting in St. Vincent and the Grenadines scheduled to take place tomorrow, Thursday, December 14th, 2023, between the presidents of Guyana and Venezuela on matters related to the border dispute between the two countries. Confirmation of this coming from the office of the Prime Minister yesterday. The meeting was born out of ongoing discussions and the decision taken at the emergency CARICOM meeting held last Friday. The soca and entertainment fraternity were plunged into shock and mourning at the sudden passing of Antiguan-born artist Ricardo Drew. The Observer newspaper in Antigua is reporting Drew was pronounced dead at the Celeste Bird Medical Center around noon yesterday, Tuesday. He was rushed to hospital after being found unresponsive in his room. Drew had been scheduled to fly out of the island later this afternoon. An announcer on Observer Radio in Antigua reflected on Drew's passing and sent the words of comfort, love, and support to his family at this time. His fiancée, with whom he shares a daughter, Patrice Roberts, was plunged into mourning and expressed sadness over her Instagram profile yesterday. The trade union movement is calling on Her Excellency President Christine Kangaloo to reconsider not renewing the contract of Industrial Court President Deborah Thomas Felix, which expires tomorrow, Thursday. JTOM says there will be dark days ahead for the President of the Industrial Court, Deborah Thomas Felix, who was told her contract, which ends today, will not be renewed. JTOM President Anthony Roger spoke to the media after delivering a president to Her Excellency on Tuesday. He said the union met with the National Trade Union Center NATUC and the Federation of Independent Trade Unions and NGOs FITUNG in emergency session on Monday to discuss the recent unfortunate development. He said the information came from sources at the court and were told a decision was taken not to renew the contract of the sitting president of the Industrial Court of Trinidad and Tobago. It was communicated to her 2 days before the expiration of her contract and 2 days before the removal. He said they found it highly irregular and disrespectful to the incumbent and to the office itself. Groundwork continues by the committee, which was set up to address the repatriation of nationals from conflict zones. The multi-agency platform called Task Force Nightingale is actively engaged in the process. Its work involved coordinating various international and diplomatic efforts and overseeing legislative, administrative, and security initiatives. Minister of National Security Fitzgerald Hines was asked if there was a timeline relating to the recommendations of the task force and persons who are potential interests of being repatriated. In response, Hines said he was not in a position to give a timeline work in this ongoing area. The Ministry of Health, via its Chemistry, Food and Drug Division, takes note of a voluntary recall of Eve evaporated milk. The recall issued by Bryden's Trinidad Tobago, the importer of the product. It's a result of an exposure to prolonged heat. The ministry is advising persons who may be in possession of the recalled product with the list of numbers to discontinue use immediately and discard. U.S. toy company Hasbro says it's cutting more jobs as it struggles with weaker sales in the build-up to Christmas. The maker of Transformers action figures and Monopoly will lay off about 1,100 workers globally and cut close to 20% of its staff. The job cuts come as toy industry is generally facing a slowdown in demand for its products. And that is news to 6 a.m. right here on News Power Digital. We'll have major news coming up at 7 a.m. Good Wednesday morning to you. Up to date and credible. Power 102 Digital.
Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
That's what it is. It is Hump Day Wednesday, the 13th day of December. You know what that means? It's 12 days to Christmas. 12 days to Christmas and 19 days till 2024. Good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us on the Power Breakfast Show on Power 102 Digital. All right, let's get straight into the WTs, see what's happening with weather and traffic. Traffic-wise, I have nothing to tell you about. Nothing. East, west, north and south. Nothing. Remember this in about 3 weeks' time. There is no traffic. All right, let's get into weather. I tell you. No traffic. Can you believe that? It is, I'll give you our temp just now. Just resetting it there a little bit. But I'll give you the temps across our listenership and give you what our weather is going to be like for today, Wednesday. Fair to partly cloudy conditions with a few light to moderate showers and the low 30% chance of an isolated heavy shower, mainly during the afternoon. All right. Gusty winds and street flash flooding possible near heavy showers. It is 26 degrees in our beautiful sister isle of Tobago and 25 in Crown Point. And I tell you, it's chilly in some places. It's -1 in Toronto. It is 23. It warmed up. Yep, yesterday was 15. It's 23 degrees in Miami. Orlando, you're at 16. New York, you're chilly at 2 degrees. Atlanta, zilch, nada, 0. London, cloudy, and 8. You hear that, Michael? It's 8 degrees in London. Tampa, 15. Washington, D.C., you're sitting at 1 degree. All right, let's see who send us hellos. First thing this morning, let me just pull it up here. Via YouTube and Facebook, Godzilla out in Brooklyn, New York. Good morning to you. Overman Warren, it's Hump Day. Wayne B. in Covington, Georgia. Morning. Wendy and James. Good morning. DJ Ray out in Tampa. Good morning. Marcia Rock out in Orlando, Florida. Good morning. Ewart Ratchball. Mo Gaines out in Aruka. Rennie Mohammed. Brenda Isaac. Randy Kelly. Morning. Trinidad Margot. Good morning. D. Pierre. How art thou? Ray out in West Palm Beach, Florida. Good morning to you. Carol Guevara, good morning. Richard Duku, good morning to you as well. All right. Good morning, Dan Ranch. Hope all is well. And let's see. Someone says, good morning. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. All right. So good morning to you, Paul Richards. What's happening?
Morning, Steve. Good morning, everyone.
Morning, buddy. Hope all is well this morning.
It's such a weird month, let me tell you.
It is a weird month. I actually thought about that yesterday evening.
Very, very weird month.
About the Ricardo.
A month just filled with death and I don't know. It's just very, very annoying.
It is, you know, I mean, apart from Ricardo Drew, an 8-year-old and mother, it's just a shooting in Barataria.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot. You know, this year is just like ending off in deaths and.
It's just so much, so disturbing. Anyway, good morning and condolences to Nicola Barreto, who I worked with for several years on television and radio.
Yeah,
who's the mother of Ricardo, Drew Barreto, and to Patrice Roberts, who is his fiancée and with whom he shares a daughter.
Yeah, Lily. And
his other children and their families and his fans and his band members. Zarin from A-Team Band and the Soca and Entertainment Fraternity. I mean, I got that news just after 12 years. So somebody sent me a poster and I said this is fake news because I went on all the Antigua news sites and I didn't see anything. And 10 minutes after, I got more forwards, and when I made some calls, I confirmed that it was indeed true that he'd been found unresponsive in a hotel room, was rushed to hospital. They tried to revive him for about 45 minutes. Theater, but he unfortunately passed on. So condolences to his family.
And I think that happened on Tuesday afternoon. But what is odd is that Patrice Roberts was on another radio station yesterday morning, normal as can be, and not a word. And then, yeah, I got the same thing you got. I got all these forwards, a barrage of them. And I'm saying, nah, this can't be true. And I did the same thing you did. I went up on the Antigua news site and I saw nothing. And then just a little while after that is when I realized it was confirmed.
Yeah.
And I said, holy
Today,
moly. You never know, Paul. You never know.
Good morning, Wendell.
Morning, guys. Morning, Trinidad and Tobago, and good morning, listeners and viewers. I don't know why I feel like if I just fell asleep and had to wake up.
I tell you.
That's how I feel.
I sent you the number for the sleep people already. ISD. You didn't check them out. Anyway, gents, I'm dealing with an issue here, so I need to excuse myself for like 5 minutes. I'll be right back.
Yeah, there's just so many things happening, you know. I mean, between Monday and today, so many things happened. You know, it's just like I don't know.
The world is not tailspin.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
trying to regain equilibrium.
Yeah, it's like you can't catch your bearings, you know. You can't stop to wonder, okay, all right, let me just think, let me just plan out this period. No, it's just happening.
Tomorrow is not promised.
Well, we know that for sure. And I mean, every day we see examples of people.
I just buried a colleague last week who died in a car crash, you know. And there were two other people who I know died who I couldn't go to their funerals last week alone. And then to hear this young man, 38 years old, prime of his life, you know, extremely productive, loving father, partner, from all accounts, you know. Because I know his mother very well.
It was eerie, and it almost brought a tear to me. Listening to Patrice that morning on an interview, that morning she did an interview, I think it's with Sensational Sammy with his program, and speaking about their plans to finally marry.
Yeah, they
got that same morning. I talking about 2 hours before he died.
Yeah.
Oh boy, you know, it's
very eerie, and you know, because he's so young, so you don't. I mean, you're confused as to what may have been the cause of this, you know. Because I mean, he's such a young, seemingly healthy person.
Yeah.
I saw a video of him working out his room recently. You know, it suggests that he was in good health. I don't know. May he rest in peace. That's all you can say.
For sure. You know, and as I say, we've been losing people. I mean, death is a constant thing. I mean, it's part of life. You have to accept that you're going to die someday. You have no control over how you die, when you die, where you die. You really have little control over that unless you plan to commit suicide. You understand? You really have little control over anything else. You know, so really and truly, it's just to live your life. I mean, there's so many sayings, there's so many songs that came out about how you should live this one life you have, you know. I have had a saying here for the last 18 years on this program: let go and let God. I also carry around a spare wheel cover that says one life, live it. You understand? And there's so many other sayings that you can think, but you know, try to make an impact, not just on yourself, but on someone, so that somewhere along the line, somebody could say, because people generally only say nice things about people at funerals. You understand? There are some people you can't, but generally people say nice things at funerals.
You can always find something nice to say about somebody. I mean, it may not be a lot in some instances, but you can always find something decent to say.
Yeah.
You can always find something decent to say. It's not like the person would have not done anything good in their lives, you know?
Yeah.
Good morning, Richard.
Good morning, guys. Good morning to our
Hi,
listeners, wherever you are.
hi, Ricardo. How are you?
I'm
You
good.
know,
I'm good.
and it's strange. I call you Ricardo most times.
Mm.
It's actually just shocking. His passing was shocking, to say the least.
Mm.
Shocking to the point where, people, when I confirmed it and I forwarded it to people, they said, no, this is not true. I said, yes. I wouldn't forward it unless it's true.
But I saw when you all sent it in the chat, when it came in the chat, it was said not confirmed. But then I started to get it from everybody, and then I subsequently saw that it was confirmed,
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I've heard that moment.
that's
So,
crazy.
yeah, it is crazy. I'm sure they'll perform an autopsy because he was too young to have passed suddenly like that without them officially ascertaining the cause of death.
Yeah, at 38.
Not at that age. Yeah, at that age, you have to ascertain the cause of death. So,
Yeah.
again, may he rest in peace.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Neil Joachim. I say Joachim, people say Joachim, Neil's wife, you remember Ingrid? She worked with us at Power 102. You remember Ingrid? Steve would remember Ingrid, I'm sure.
I remember Ingrid.
So Neil's birthday is today. Neil is her husband. He listens to the program every morning. So happy birthday, Neil. And happy birthday to all others celebrating birthdays today. Today would have been the birthday of a very good friend of mine, Candice Duty, who passed away some years ago. So good morning. I'm trying to find some lighter news. Oh, good news. West Indies won the first T20 last night. I didn't think they'd win, but they did pull it off eventually. Last night in Barbados. The next match, I think, we have 2 matches here in Trinidad coming up pretty soon. In the Christmas week, we have 2 matches at the Barnlara Stadium in Trinidad. Yeah.
You all mentioned that Andre Broha also died?
Yes, from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah.
I saw that too.
That was another death that took place yesterday, and he was 61.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley will travel to St. Vincent and the Grenadines on Thursday to attend a meeting between President Nicolas Maduro and President Dr. Irfan Ali, which I understand is to be moderated by Dr. Ralph Gonzalez and Brazilian President Da Silva. That's an interesting development.
It is, huh? Well, it's all the border. Well, St. Vincent is not bordered, but Brazil is bordered. Trinidad and Tobago is bordered. Bless you.
Well, Brazil borders both Ghana and Venezuela.
Yeah.
And I was reading something, I don't think you were here that day, Wendell, and I don't know how true it is, but I'd read a BBC article that says that the only place for Venezuelan troops to enter really in Ghana in terms of an easier entry, because a lot of the terrain is difficult, is through Brazil.
Yeah. That was Monday. You said it Monday.
Okay. And I didn't know that. I don't know how accurate that article is, but it was the BBC. And I just found that interesting that Brazil is saying, well, not through our territory. So what happens, If it is that Ghana was of that ilk, we don't know if they are that mindset.
Yeah.
Because they have articulated, officially, shall I say, kind of officially, to subordinates that, they do not want any war or anything like that. Yet, of course, President Maduro's maneuvers seem to be very provocative.
Mm-hmm. Typical.
Yeah.
He is.
Kamala Prasad-Bissessa is going to claim victory on a certain level, isn't she? That she said that you should mediate, and now you have to go and mediate anyway.
Well, he did. You think so? I bet she turned it around and say, "What you going there for?" I bet you.
Isn't the opposition going? Isn't Kamala Harris going to say that? I told
She
you to
might.
run in the first place.
She might very well turn it around and say, "Now, what you going there for? You're going there to just make a mess of things. You never know, you know."
No, she had called upon Trinidad, but didn't she call upon him to be more proactive and
The
to
UNC
mediate?
General, Dr. Munell, also said he needs to take a lead role. I think it was the words they used in mediating this issue. So,
And now he's taking a lead role.
well, I think CARICOM is taking a lead role. Who represents CARICOM is up for grabs. I think CARICOM is what was taking the lead role. And
Because
CARICOM
I listened to Dr. Amy Brown yesterday, and he basically said exactly what you were surmising Monday, Richard, that this had to have come about out of a CARICOM decision, the CARICOM emergency meeting. He said that. And you understand where Dr. Ralph Gonzalez, as a head of a particular pro tem something team, was appointed to initiate this process. And the process is, I'm surprised. Dr. Irfan Ali has already said that is not to be discussed. The issue of the border is not to be discussed. So I don't know what else they're going to be discussing. Must be what they're going to and how they're going to unwind for Christmas or what.
Well, Dr. Irfan Ali is taking the position that it matters with the ICJ, and the ICJ is the only body empowered to decide the issue from a substantive point of view. So
then what's the point?
The only mediation that you could be taking place there is taking down the rhetoric and de-escalating the situation for the region. So it has to be that you're talking to Venezuela and saying, look, your maneuvers, redrawing the map and saying XYZ and appointing a governor is provocative at the least, and you need to step back in terms of the de-escalation of the issue.
I'd be surprised if Nicolas Maduro agrees to that.
Yeah, because what Ghana's position must be known, because they would have been at the emergency meeting of CARICOM.
Yeah, that's what I said. Ghana's position is known.
Yeah,
Ghana's position is known.
President Ali said this meeting is not to discuss the border dispute. It is in the hands of the court at this time. I think they both, in the interest of regional stability, have agreed. I think this is my opinion. I don't think, because of what I think the intent of this entire thing with President Maduro is that him attending the meeting helps boost his profile ahead of elections next year.
Well, he seems...
I don't think he's going to back down from his position, given what he's done already and what he continues to do. And I don't think that a meeting with any CARICOM heads, hopefully good sense prevails, is going to convince President Maduro to take down the pictures he put up in all the schools and the municipal this and that all over and back down at this point. Okay, we spoke, and at this time I ain't want 3/4 Ghana no more.
Yeah.
No, it's not going to happen. This is all geopolitics, and he's positioning himself for a favorable outcome, in his opinion, in the election next year. So he will go because it raises his profile in the region, because it's being covered by all media houses in the region and South America. Wrong or right? And across the world, actually. So he keeps raising his profile globally. And that's what he has to do, because he's quite unpopular in several sectors in Venezuela. So the more he raises his profile, is marketing, He ain't going to say, okay, sorry, I'm here, overstep. Oh my God, sorry, I didn't realize the border was there. I took stripperness. I went and pulled back the troops and dismantled the pictures and no more Biblia La Bolivario, the Republic of Venezuela. No more of that. Not Maduro.
I can tell you, I know Ghana didn't need this bit of stress now. I can tell you that.
In many ways, Wendell, it's also great for Ghana's profile globally.
Well, yeah, if nobody heard about that Ghana before, they know now. You know what I mean? But they really didn't.
In many ways, because it's being covered on all major networks, all. So Ghana's president and the country as a whole is getting marketed, and for the most part, the world is on Ghana's side.
Yes.
So President Ali and Dr. Jagdeo and the entire government and executive of Ghana are also getting a profile boost globally. when the country is expanding and doing very well.
Leave it at Dr. Ali now. I like him. Forget, see that other combative troublemaking one? Forget he. Leave it at Dr.
Connected to all of that, well, not connected to all of that, I guess. But in a kind of way, connected to it is that COP28 ended, I believe, with a standing ovation with almost 200 countries. That's the breaking news. With almost 200 countries agreeing to transition away from fossil fuels.
That's what you get from Saudi Arabia?
Yep.
I didn't get it at all. I get
So that's breaking news that's coming out now.
Okay.
Oh, explain.
I found a message from COP, particularly from the host country, Saudi Arabia, that we are oil and money in the ground, and we still going to get that money in the ground.
Yeah.
We will transition, but not anytime in the near future because we have too much money and oil to make from.
Well, there was a watered down thing in terms of the agreement
The resolution.
And many countries are furious, but apparently they've now come to some sort of agreement that over 200 countries, or approximately 200 countries, have agreed to transition away from fossil fuels. So it ended with a standing ovation that they agreed on that. So that's breaking news that's now hitting the circuit. So that's what I was reading it from.
I'm now looking for the story, but I ain't seeing it.
Yeah.
Mm. Well,
so
also,
we have that. Yeah, go on.
No, I was just going to say, also in the news is Marshall Montano will not be participating in Carnival 2024. I don't know why I feel that's some kind of ruse, but for everybody to say no, and get him to come and thing, but he is focused on an MBA, so he said he is not.
Well, I don't think it's a ruse. I think it's quite strategic in many ways. He didn't say he's not participating. He says he's tremendously scaling back his appearances. He didn't say he's sitting it out, from what I read. He said he's taking a more reserved role to focus on completing his MBA in Carnival Studies because it's his final year and his thesis is due. But that will only mean that the few places he goes, you rush to see him more.
Paul, last year he said the same thing, scaling back. He ain't performing here, he ain't performing there. And then in CIC FET, he show up and that was it. FET after FET after FET after
but
FET.
Scaling back doesn't mean not performing.
All right, I'm just saying.
Means scaling back.
Scaling back. He said that last year too, if I'm not mistaken. He was scaling back.
If Marshall Montana
and then when he realized, when he realized other road march contenders was running away with the race, he jumped in. You really
feel Marshall is so thirsty for a road match after winning 7 or 8 or 10, 11?
He's not thirsty for a road match. He is competitive. He is extremely competitive.
And at a particular stage in his life now where he's looking to transition to other things potentially.
No, I'm
you
not.
You can't jump and joke your waist forever,
I'm not saying that part of it, but if you know the competitive nature of Marshall, and we saw it last year, he is extremely competitive. And he loves to perform. He loves to perform. And
you need to hurt you. Your knee and your back is starting to hurt you after a while, you know. You know that. You like to perform too, but your knee and your back just kick in. And you can't do it for a long time. So you have to put it back, you have to scale back.
I pressure wash a whole yard.
Look how you scale back your performances.
That's what I'm saying. I haven't. I pressure wash a whole yard in a rebound.
Performances. Pressure wash is one thing that you have anyway.
Yeah, but many of
I'll show you the pressure wash as much as before.
Steve Carter, is that a joke that you just sent in the group? Oh God, he's not there. That has to be a joke. That can't be serious.
Oh, the Christians against satellite thing?
Yes. That has to be a joke. That's been sent by Pastor Alex.
Alex Love.
Who's Alex Love?
Me, no.
But it's in Pastor Alex.
You know something that occurred to me when I went to South last time? I wonder how much money...
South Trinidad?
Yeah, South Trinidad.
Okay. Right.
I wonder how much money Pastor Coffee pays on an annual basis to keep up those billboards of his daughters Dr. Wincy and Cuffy, and I can't remember the other one's name, and upgrade them so they're always in pristine condition for the last 7 to 10 years.
Well,
Pastor Cuffy, we know. Congratulations, your family's done very well. I don't know that we need to keep being reminded.
Well, it depends on the tides.
Hmm?
It'll depend on the tides.
I'm glad you said Wendell, Stephen.
I remember I said, okay, we know, we're aware. Great, they're two very productive women, we really happy for your family's success. Is it?
Yeah, that is a very kind of narcissistic.
If
behavior.
I was them, I said, Daddy, take down that thing, please. Take it down. Take it down.
Maybe
take it down. No, take it down, please, Daddy, take it down.
Maybe they are the ones who saying, Daddy, please put it up, put it up, put it up.
They live here? I didn't know that they live here. It didn't need to be up.
Maybe they say, Daddy, time for our next billboard.
Oh, Lord.
It just occurred to me the other day to mention it. Pastor Coffee, take it down now.
Yeah, it is.
It's time. Take it down.
It is pure vanity. I agree with Guy Small. It is pure vanity.
And and it's fine. We laud the accomplishments. They're clearly two very bright, very productive young women, and we know. We know.
Yeah.
We know.
saw Carlisle Cupid made a comment earlier on that I tend to agree with. He said, countries have interests, not friends. Dr. Rowley's presence is about our economic future. Whatever the outcome, it is about how we will relate to both countries after a final settlement. I tend to agree with that.
Well, I think its presence is quite strategic. We're the closest neighbors to both countries.
Well, that is what Kamala Prasad was saying from the start.
You're saying Carlisle Cupid is Kamala in thing?
Kamala Prasad, I believe, was saying that he should mediate because of the interest that Trinidad and Tobago has with both Guyana and Venezuela. That Trinidad is better placed to be the mediator. We felt on this program, at least the opinion espoused on this program was because of that. We did not make a good mediator because we had interest in both countries.
You have interest? You have personal interest?
Right. Yeah, so it seems as if there's a fluctuation in terms of what is being said. And of course, the government never. Of course, now he said, no, I'm not saying that he said anything, and I'm just talking about.
No, I'm saying he never indicated he's not going.
The mere idea that he's going there now, presumptively for a mediation, I'm hearing with Dr. Ralph Gonzalez was presumptively, because we haven't had any official communiques in the sense of this is the way forward from CARICOM. So presumptively, Ralph Gonzalez was the one that was going to deal with the mediation issue, but now President Lula and he invited President Lula, which I assume was a CARICOM decision too. And now you have Dr. Rowley saying, well, I'm going to go, which seems it comes across kind of impromptu because it does come across that way. No, it may not have been, but because you have had no official communication from CARICOM on the way forward with the issue, it does come across kind of impromptu. So of course it's going to feed into what Kamala Prasad was saying from the start.
Yeah. Well,
of course the opposition is going to say, "Oh, you're finally listening to us."
Yeah.
That's what they're going to say. That's what they're going to say.
If they could use it, all power to them. But yesterday,
and if you know them, aren't they going to use it?
Probably that we told you so. And
along lines like that. Yeah, along lines like that is what they're going to say.
Yeah. Yesterday on a program, they were asking Dr. Brown, Amy Brown, if he is attending, and he kept hemming and hawing. He didn't really give an answer, and then this release came out not too long after. So clearly something was afoot.
Yeah,
clearly something was afoot.
I mean, I think it is an absolutely good idea that Trinidad and Tobago be in the room.
Mm-hmm.
So I totally agree that Dr. Rowley made the correct decision to be present. So I think he's made the correct decision.
Yeah.
Regardless of however the opposition spins it.
Well, the opposition will spin it now. So you need to be in the room when we have any crime talks also. That's what they're gonna say.
Well,
And
beyond
that would be a valid comment.
Yeah, beyond the opposition, there are many Trinidadians and Tobagoans who do believe that he should be in the room.
Right.
So you're gonna mediate border disputes and you want to mediate the constitution, yeah?
Yeah.
Is that a valid comment?
I swear it's camera on the program.
I didn't see you send this you say it first. You say it first like I see like
is that Paul there, Richard?
You say it first. Mrs. Pastabi has made a comment
avatar
and suggesting that Commissioner Earle here with Christopher is not going to be renewed as commissioner. That's why we're seeing the 3 names going before the House of Representatives today to be debated for DCPs. She said Earle's days are numbered.
Are you repeating everything Kamala Pasabi says so?
Because I'm repeating what you were saying.
She did say that, and I tend to believe her.
Remember we suggested that on Monday.
Lord knows about national radio saying I believe Kamala Pasabi says so.
We said this 3 DCPs appointment is curiously timed, and I think Mrs. Harewood Christopher got a different kind of contract because she passed the age of retirement and it made an arrangement to have her continue on.
Yeah.
But I don't know when to do the assessment, how much success she'll have.
But you're right, Wendell. It's Pastor Alex Love. I need to read this.
Yes.
Yeah. So apparently it looks like it's an official thing on his page, doesn't it? I don't even know who Alex Love is. Who's Pastor Alex Love anyway? But Steve found this and posted it up. I assume it was a joke.
Let's send it for Paul.
I'm going to assume it's a joke while I read it. So the atheists are using satellites to intercept prayer to Jesus and turn them evil. Now, it's not spelled E-V-I-L. It's spelled E-V-E-L, which is a new word that is an adjunct to the word evil that means something in Pastor Alex Love's mind. And there's a post that says Christian against satellites. No, I say this has to be a joke. The negative impact of artificial satellites and space debris orbiting the Earth. Satellites interfere with our ability to effectively communicate with God. Prayers often collide with satellites and are deflected or destroyed upon impact. Satan uses satellites to intercept and alter prayers before they reach God, resulting in disastrous consequences. Satellites block God's ability to watch us. Satellites interfere with the flight paths of angels. Continued proliferation of satellites causes navigational issues for Jesus and further delays his return to Earth. Steve can't send that this morning. Take it how you want it.
You want to poll? It's too early to poll something as ridiculous as that.
I am very, very seldom lost for words.
Christians against satellites. That's the name of it.
So take it how you want it.
This is as rubbish as I don't know.
But if you have people believing that the Earth is flat, I don't put anything beyond human beings.
And President saying that COVID was a concocted imaginary disease. Or former presidents. Why would you not expect that? Come on.
Well, you know, there are a lot of people now surmising, commenting that all these sudden deaths, especially of young people, has to do with people who got the vaccination. You know that, right? You know, people reach all there.
Quite very quickly yesterday.
Yes. I don't know how they know that who get vaccinated or who didn't get vaccinated, but all of a sudden, with people suddenly dying, they attributing it to the vaccine. People who receive the vaccine.
Who are the young people suddenly dying?
Well, people,
Ricardo.
they started it with Ricardo Drew. They've done it with others too. You understand? With younger people who have
Well, I know
suddenly died.
Ricardo Drew
Mm.
would have been shocking yesterday, and we have to wait to see what the autopsy says. But what other young people? What is the barrage of young people dying that is
No,
occurring?
I didn't say a barrage. I'm just saying people have made those comments. Anti-vaxxers have been making those comments. You haven't seen them?
No, that doesn't come up in my feed.
Oh, okay. Well, they have. Anyway,
So besides,
Carol Gavar, we did name the three DCPs, Junior Benjamin, Natasha George, and Wendell Lucas. They are the three DCPs that have been proposed to be debated in Parliament.
look, the
And of
culprit
course,
come
the
back
other...
and sit down.
Huh?
I said, look, the culprit come back and sit down.
Yeah, he create a mischief against Christians and then go on.
We were reading your post, Steve Can. We didn't know it was real. Is that real?
No, I don't know. I just saw that and I thought you to get a kick out of it.
Yeah,
And he did.
I did.
I know that.
I know a lot of our listeners who are listening. I know one in particular who posted on Facebook this morning about the situation with the Industrial Court President, Deborah Thomas Felix, who got notification that her contract will not be renewed, apparently. And it was kind of sudden. It created a whole lot of debate yesterday with David Abdullah, Ansel Rouge, all of them coming out in support of Mrs. Deborah Thomas Felix.
The JTM has issued a communique of some sort, not so?
They did say something yesterday. I don't have it in front of me. But there are other people. Why Paul keeping quiet on this one? Is that a committee parliament?
That's his avatar.
Yeah.
The real Paul not there yet.
The one Kamala Prasad Bisesa avatar.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one.
The one that talks.
Yeah, she move with her mouse.
Yeah. Anyway, we could poll that. We could poll that because it seems to be the biggest story that's trending right now outside of the political, the other geopolitical matters. We could probably poll that. Do you agree with the non-renewal of the contract for Deborah Thomas Felix by President Christine Kangaloo? She would have been acting on somebody's advice, wouldn't she?
I'm not so sure how the president of the Industrial Court is actually appointed. I don't know if
I think I was hearing David Abdullah say it's on the advice of the Chief Justice and Cabinet, somewhere along those lines.
I think it's in consultation with the Chief Justice.
Okay, because I don't know if this is sole remit of the president, but it's strange that you wouldn't, even if you weren't renewing her contract, it's strange to me from a professional point of view that it would have been done the way that it seems to have been done in terms of what's coming out in the public arena.
You know,
because that should be the kind of information that you would have articulated at that level way in advance, and it shouldn't be a shock just before your contract expires. That seems highly inappropriate and not very professional. That's how it reads to me.
You know, that's part of the course now. Yeah.
But it should not be. That's what I'm saying at that level, and the professional courtesy in terms of somebody's contract coming to an end. You would have told them. You should have told them way in advance. Look, because I assume there is some sort of, I don't know what kind of assessment of the work you're doing at that level, but certainly there should have been some sort of information rather than at the cusp of your contract expiring. Professional courtesy.
Richard, I'll tell you something, and I don't know if anybody will agree with this. When a contract is coming to an end, is it expected that it will be renewed? Shouldn't you also be prepared that it wouldn't be? It may not be. I'm speaking
contracts are generally based on competence. So in the normal course of things, when you are doing somebody's contract is coming to an end, there would have been a performance review, sometimes a month or 2 months in advance. And out of that performance review, of which you are a part because it's your performance is being reviewed, you would have an assessment of your performance, and you would know whether your contract is being renewed or not. It would be indicated to you as part of your performance assessment. Now, she's the head of the industrial court. I don't know what kind of performance review takes place, if any, because it's not the same thing, because you are a judge, but the articulation of the continuation of you and of your tenure in office, and I'm using the word tenure loosely here, should be the subject of a professional discussion. It should be the discussion of, okay, your contract is coming to an end, and because of the position, you would want to have that conversation a month or 2 months in advance. You would have a conversation and say, look, are you interested in continuing? Or we are thinking of removing you or whatever. I just think it's professional courtesy at that level. So it doesn't become what it has become.
But do we know that it wasn't that way? We don't really know either.
Well, all information indicates it wasn't.
Yeah.
Because of the discussion that is taking place in the public arena.
Yeah. It's Trinidad and Tobago.
So, it's just, but I mean, it's not the first example of improper protocols in terms of dealing with that kind of issue, or professional protocols in dealing with that kind of issue. It's not the first example. If it is in fact so, let me qualify it and say that, if it is in fact so, because of course Deborah Thomas Felix, she just finished, she launched her book last year, or was it last year? I think, was it last year? I believe it was, or the year before.
It's two books.
It's two books that she has. So she's considered certainly an expert in the field of industrial relations because of where her position is, what her position is. And certainly she's highly regarded, obviously, by Trinidad and Tobago unions.
Yes, she was lauded yesterday.
Yeah, so we see how it all plays out. But as I said, that issue of institutional respect, which is being undermined, not only in Trinidad and Tobago, I think globally, institutions are even more under the microscope. But let's be self-introspective and look at our space. It all contributes to how institutions are handled and by the people that are in charge of them. So
it's 648.
So if you have a mode of being disrespectful or not following proper protocols and how you deal with situations, don't be upset when the regular man in the street starts to degrade his respect for that institution.
All I will say is I know too much to comment objectively. Does someone have newspapers?
Come down by Rumbox and light up.
Well, exactly. What time to meet? So,
Paul, the ball in your court.
Paul, come out of avatar mode. So anyway, the Trinidad and Tobago Daily Express for this morning. Of course, today is Wednesday, December 13th, 2023. Mom, son, 8 stabbed to death. That's the main story that the Daily Express went with. And there's an insert photograph of the mom and the son. That is absolutely a tragic and sad story that disturbed me yesterday. I mean, you have these kind of stories that just disturb you.
Yes.
And this is one that just disturbed me yesterday. So there's a picture. Husband makes gruesome discovery in bedroom of Marabella apartment. Brutally murdered. Hollis Thomas, 40, and her 8-year-old son Noel were found stabbed to death at their home on Batu Street, Marabella, yesterday. Dark days ahead after Thomas Felix removed. That's a SEP headline. Soca star Ricardo Drew dies at 38. All of that is on the front page of the Daily Express this morning. And on the back page, CPL calm on Guyana, going ahead with plans to host 2024 tourney despite border dispute. And there is a photograph of England's Phil Salt knocks gloves with Captain Joss Butler during the first T20 match against West Indies at Kensington Oval in Bridgetown, Barbados. So that's the front and back page of the Daily Express. Moving on to the Newsday, what did they go with the front page? I'll tell you. Marabella community laments attacks on children as mom 8 and boy 8 and mom killed in sleep. double murder, and there are photographs of the mother and son and of the crime scene. Other subheadlines: Soca star Ricardo Drew dies. On the back page of the Newsday, AC Port of Spain surged the summit of TTPFL, Muckets strike sinks Rangers, and triathlon body focuses on Tobago. All of that's on the back page. Moving on to the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian, because I'm getting the look from Steve and Paul to hurry it up. Trinidad and Tobago Guardian for today. Front page, out in the cold. They went with that as their headline. Industrial court heads contract ends today. Unions claim it won't be renewed by president. Says she got the dreaded phone call in Geneva. All of that is on the front page. Mom and son eat murdered. And there's an insert photo.
Even that is inaccurate.
And of the crime scene. And Soca star Ricardo Drew dies. Yep, that's the front page of the Guardian, and on the back page, Windies stroll to victory. That's all you need to know of the three dailies this month. All right,
the other question could be: do you agree with Dr. Keith Rowley participating in the talks in St. Vincent?
Yeah.
Or do you think the talks? Yeah, understand?
Yeah, we can ask that one.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get the results all morning. Paul, let's say good morning. Going on to. I'm sure you guys said hello to all these guys. Alana Simmons wants to get in touch with you, Richard. So, Alana, what you can do is...
The satellite will block that communication, Alana.
Alana, send me your telephone number and I'll forward it to Richie Rich. All right? Our poll yesterday. Are you feeling the feeling? The Christmas feeling as yet? Are you? Give the results right after this.
This is the season of giving, and you can give the holiday happiness to your loved ones. Send and receive more with the MoneyGram. Share the joy with your loved ones and make Christmas extra special this year. With every MoneyGram transfer, this Christmas you have the chance to win a cash voucher. Share the joy of the season with your loved ones. Visit any MoneyGram agent location or Massey stores nationwide for details. And check our Facebook and Instagram page. This promotion has been approved by the NLCB.
All right, our poll yesterday. Yeah. Are you feeling the Christmas feeling as yet? That was our poll yesterday. Results are in. Final results. 78% said no. All right. Let's get into this morning's poll. It's up already on Facebook, on YouTube, on our mobile app. Do you agree with the Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, participating in talks in St. Vincent, which is happening tomorrow between President Ali and Maduro? Yes or no? 222-8255, toll-free North Americans, 866-525-1099, on Facebook, on YouTube as you watch us, and on WhatsApp at 318-1021. All right.
We have one vote so far. Gregory Boyer says yes. Gregory,
you're recording, right, Wendell?
Yes, I'll record.
Okay.
Gregory, I had to talk to you about the turtles.
So that's it. That's a message. Yes or no?
Rena Buru Jennings, yes. Wayne B, yes.
You agree with the
yes.
Prime Minister Keith Rowley participating in talks in St. Vincent on Thursday, which is tomorrow, between Presidents Ali and Maduro? Yes or no? WhatsApp, Facebook, YouTube. Got some messages coming in already. Gregory Bauer says yes to the poll. Rena Buru Jennings says yes. Wayne B says yes. Boy Bedesi, yes. CG out in New York, Chile, yes. Carol Guevara, yes. Slick Buddy Grip, yes. Wayne Joseph out in Ontario, Canada, yes. Carol Joseph, good morning, Carol Joseph. Julia S. Batiste says yes. Let's see what this caller says. Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning, Zeno.
Yes, I
don't write it down long time.
Aye.
Did you all hear the
I write it down long time.
I think that's a message for Paul. You kind of know their tricks, you know. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, yes. After all, the Guyanese president said he's not talking Essequibo, but the prime minister still has this dragon deal to talk about. Okay.
Randy Kelly, no. Richard Duku, yes.
I feel if you ask sometimes, should Prime Minister only talk to Jesus Christ, and people will say no.
DL says yes to the poll.
The satellite will block the conversation.
Well, it depends on when he talking, Paul?
Oh. Dan Raj on WhatsApp at 318-1021 says yes. Sunny San Fernando, yes to the poll. Mrs. R, yes. All right. Do you agree with the Prime Minister participating in talks in St. Vincent tomorrow between Presidents Ali and Maduro? Yes or no? Tell us what you think. Ish out in Malik, yes. Trevor in Arima. Morning, Trev. It's been a while. Says yes. All right.
Where are you getting those other votes from, Steve?
What's up?
Okay.
Jaron Joseph, yes to the poll. Jaron. And that black and white picture. All right. Do you agree with the Prime Minister heading to St. Vincent tomorrow to participate in talks between Presidents Ali and Maduro?
Two talk.
Go ahead. We haven't heard you in a little while.
It's been a difficult last 48 hours for me for many different reasons.
I can really imagine.
Val from The Body says no. Thank you, Val. Have a good one, Val.
Rumbox is always a place to come from.
You have 2 more minutes to vote.
Take a little drink.
Just
come down by Rumbox and just buy stuff. It'll make you feel so much better.
You know what, Paul? Do that and then head to the office. And then we'll raid your vehicle. I'll take a nice bottle of port. Thank you. Port wine. I would love it. Port. Love a glass of port.
You don't take her home, Jim?
Leave my body by doubles alone.
Which are you muting?
I can do some doubles. Do you agree with the Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley, participating in talks in St. Vincent tomorrow between Presidents Ali and Maduro? All right. Leo Henry. Pleasant morning, guys, from St. Lucia. Thank you,
beautiful.
Leo. In St. Lucia.
Beautiful place.
I have a buddy of mine is coming in to spend some holidays there.
Eldon Punnell's funeral was yesterday, if I'm not mistaken.
Whose funeral?
Sorry?
Eldon Punnell.
Oh.
I don't know that name.
It's a graphic artist, well-known graphic artist.
Yeah.
Worked in the entertainment sector.
What happened then? What happened to Eldon?
He passed.
Oh, did I see that?
About 2 weeks ago.
I think I did see it. Yes.
You would
I
have.
did see it.
Good morning, Donna Leeling.
We used to message each other from time to time, and I was like, oh my God, Eldon died, yes.
Yeah. Miss Bonaire West. Good morning to you, Miss Bonaire West. No to the poll.
The dedication service for Marlene McDonald is today at City Hall from 5 p.m. The entire General Council and Women's League should be in attendance, together with the Port of Spain South constituency. So that's happening at City Hall, 5 p.m. this afternoon, the dedication service.
All right. Junior says yes to our poll. Thank you, Junior. All right. You know, Leo Henry, I've never been to St. Lucia. Never.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
There he blows. Sorry.
You need a scarf like Steve Canboy.
I had on one yesterday, you know.
Ah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm still looking for my other white one. I don't know where it is. All right, as we head up towards 7 news.
St. Lucia is an absolutely beautiful place.
Yeah.
It is.
You've already said that it was more beautiful than Tobago, and I
I
quote
did.
you.
I did
You
say
said
that.
that.
In,
You did say that.
I did.
Yes. Yes. A couple of years ago, you did.
I did. I did. One of my best vacations was actually in St. Lucia. I did zip lining in St. Lucia. I climbed to the Gros Piton. Oh Lord, I was in pain 2 days later. My wife and I climbed all the way up to the top. Hiked all the way up to the top. I also did the sulfur spring, the sulfur pool.
Really?
I had a ball in St. Lucia.
All that?
All that.
I think Leo Henry is
And a pressure
inviting
wash.
us.
And a
In-
pressure wash pool.
Leo
And those
Henry, we
pressure wash
can
party
we could do the show from your house, you know, Leo. You know that? We can do the show from any part of the world right now. All right. Well, let's get into our 7 o'clock news, shall we? Of course, the ever so lovely Avison Hill Bab is in.
This is your news bulletin from Power 102 Digital.
Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley to attend meeting in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The Soca fraternity mourns the passing of Antigua-born artiste Ricardo Drew. The trade union movement calls on the president to reconsider not renewing the contract of Industrial Court President Deborah Thomas Felix, and police hunt for the killer or killers who brutally murdered a mother and her 8-year-old son. Details in a moment. This is News to 7 o'clock on Power 102 Digital. I'm Avril Sintil-Bab. Good morning. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley will attend the meeting in St. Vincent and the Grenadines scheduled to take place on Thursday between the presidents of Guyana and Venezuela on matters related to the border dispute between the two countries. Confirmation of this came from the office of the Prime Minister yesterday. The meeting was born out of ongoing discussions and a decision taken at an emergency CARICOM virtual meeting held last Friday. The Soca fraternity is mourning the passing of Antigua-born artiste Ricardo Drew. The Observer newspaper in Antigua is reporting Drew was pronounced dead at Celeste Baird Medical Center around noon on Tuesday. He was rushed to the hospital after being found unresponsive in his room. Drew had been scheduled to fly out of the island later yesterday. An announcer on Observer Radio in Antigua reflected on Drew's passing and sent words of comfort, love, and support to the family at this time.
Our hearts are heavy. Ricardo Drew, soca artist, extraordinary. He was quite a phenomenal artist, very, very talented. Word coming to us, and we reported on it just now, a breaking story. He has gone home to his reward. Very, very shocking. I have not been as shaken in a long time as this one has shaken me. I knew his mom very, very well. Let's embrace her and comfort her, shower her with much love. She was very, very proud of her son, loved him dearly, and love you, and be comforted. May God comfort you in this your hour of grief.
Meanwhile, the Minister of Tourism, Culture and the Arts, Randall Mitchell, extended his condolences to the family and friends of the beloved soca artists. Antigua-born Drew, who was engaged to soca superstar Patrice Roberts, passed away at the age of 38. Drew was a frontline singer for the popular local AT band and also performed with Image and Company and the All Stars bands. He was also well known for his soca hits Vagabond, ID, Stamp Your Name, and Professional. Minister Mitchell affirmed Drew's contribution to the local, regional, and international cultural sectors. Local and regional artists have also been sending condolences on the death of the singer, especially to his fiancée and their child and his sons on social media, including Bungie Garlin and his wife Fayan Lyons, Destra, and a slew of others. The trade union movement is calling on President Christine Kangaloo to reconsider not renewing the contract of Industrial Court President Deborah Thomas Felix, which expires on Thursday. JTOM says there will be dark days ahead after President of the Industrial Court Felix was told her contract, which ends today, will not be renewed. Joint Trade Union Movement President Ansel Roger spoke to the media after delivering a letter to the president on Tuesday. He said the union met with the National Trade Union Center and the Federation of Independent Trade Unions and NGOs in an emergency session on Monday to discuss the recent unfortunate development. He said the information came from sources at the court. He said yesterday they learned of a decision that was taken not to renew the contract of the sitting president of the Industrial Court of Trinidad and Tobago, and that it was communicated to her only 2 days before the expiration of her contract and 2 days before her removal. He said Thomas Felix is out of the country, which meant that on Wednesday, the office of the sitting president would be held by someone else as Thomas Felix returns to the country on Saturday. A Guyanese mother and her son were brutally murdered while they slept at their Batu Street Marabella home on Tuesday morning. Police believe Noel, a Standard 3 student of St. Madeleine Government Primary School, may have been asleep when his attacker plunged a knife into his neck, killing him instantly. His body was found on a bed. His mother, who was also stabbed, was discovered on the floor next to the bed. Police seized the knife, which may be the murder weapon, but found no signs of forced entry or struggle. This has led to the preliminary conclusion that mother and son were attacked while they slept. Thomas died at the San Fernando, or the mother rather, died at the San Fernando General Hospital, where she was taken for emergency treatment. Police said that she was in a common law relationship with Marcus John, and the trio moved into a downstairs apartment at Batu Street about 6 months ago. Before that, the police said she lived in San Fernando. John told the police he left home around 6 a.m., leaving mother and son alive. He said he returned some 3 hours later around 9:05 a.m. to find his stepson dead in his bed and his mother fighting for her life. Education Minister Nian Gadsby Dolly said that she was heartbroken by the tragic death of another child. No motive has been yet established for the double homicide, but police are exploring the theory that it could be the result of a domestic situation. Police said Thomas was not known to them before, and they had no recorded reports of a threat to her life. Southern Division Police and the Homicide Division Region 3 are searching for the killer or killers. Underperforming students in the secondary entrance assessment examination was the focus of matters on the adjournment brought by Independent Senator Paul Richards on Tuesday. Richards raised concern on this aspect for the period 2018 to 2023. He revealed, according to the data available in 2018, 18.3% of the students scored under 30, while 19.3% scored under 30 in 2019. 35% scored under 50 in 2018 and 37.5% under 50 in 2019. He said those trends were not heading in the right direction even before the COVID-19 pandemic. Several questions were raised as to why this development was taking place. In response, Minister of Education Dr. Nian Gadsby Dolly cited some of the measures taken to correct the situation, adding the solution must be multi-pronged.
The various factors that contribute to SCA underperformance and underperformance in general in the primary school and the secondary school system will be teaching and learning, issues surrounding that, issues surrounding parental involvement and supervision, socioeconomic issues, poverty, psychosocial issues, learning disabilities which are undiagnosed or untreated, lack of student engagement. So if we have all of these reasons or factors, the solution must be multi-pronged.
Groundwork continues by the committee which has been set up to address the repatriation of nationals from conflict zones. The multi-agency platform called Task Force Nightingale is actively engaged in the process. Its work involves coordinating various international and diplomatic efforts and overseeing legislative, administrative, and security initiatives. It will be responsible for reintegrating the returnees into Trinidad and Tobago upon their return. The three-person repatriation committee works closely with the task force, bringing to bear the Islamic knowledge, capacity to interface with family members of the potential returnees, and expertise in international relations. Minister of National Security Fitzgerald Hines was asked if there was a timeline relating to the recommendations of the task force and persons who have potential interests in being repatriated. In response, Hines said while he was not in a position to give a timeline, work is ongoing in the area.
Timelines are difficult to establish in these contexts, but he has the assurance that we are on the job since 2018, continue to be on the job, and will be for as long as the job must be done. Thank you.
Senator. Thank you. One more. Is the minister and the government by extension satisfied that these persons are not in imminent danger at this time?
I won't allow that question, Senator Richards. Thank you. Next.
You are listening to news on Power 102 Digital to 7 o'clock. The Ministry of Health, via its Chemistry, Food and Drug Division, takes note of the voluntary recall of Eve evaporated milk. The recall issued by Bryden's Trinidad and Tobago, the importer of the product, said it is as a result of exposure to prolonged heat. Bryden's has identified the following batches for recall: N732333154AG, N732345154AG, and N731645154BG. The ministry has advised persons who may be in possession of the recalled product with the listed lot numbers to discontinue use immediately. It has reminded all distributors and retailers of the need to adhere to the established procedures and protocols for food items that are to be removed from the public domain. It will continue to monitor the situation, it said, and advise the population as necessary. The Ministry of Social Development and Family Services is advising all financial institutions, groceries, supermarkets, and district revenue offices to exercise increased caution when processing checks for payment. Recent incidences of fraudulent check presentation have been reported, specifically targeting grant checks for senior citizen pension, disability, and public assistance grants. The ministry says it has observed an alarming rise in the number of counterfeit checks being presented for payment within the last few months. In order to combat this growing issue, the ministry said that it would like to emphasize any check determined to be counterfeit will not be honored by the central bank. Given the severity of the matter, the ministry strongly urged all vendors to pay closer attention and exercise thorough scrutiny when accepting checks for payment in order to safeguard their business from financial losses. Instances of fraudulent check presentation should immediately be reported to the TTPS. Finally, here's weather news for the period today till midnight. Trinidad and Tobago fair to partly cloudy conditions with the occasional shower over a few areas. There's a low chance of the isolated heavy shower, mainly over southern parts of Trinidad. Mostly fair night despite a few brief showery spells. Gusty winds and street flooding can occur in the event of heavy downpours. You can expect a temperature high of 31 degrees Celsius, both at Piarco International Airport and Crown Point in Tobago. It is currently 26 degrees Celsius at both localities. Recapping your headlines to 7 o'clock, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley to attend a meeting in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The Soca fraternity mourns the passing of Antigua-born artiste Ricardo Drew. The trade union movement calls on President Christine Kangulu to reconsider not renewing the contract of Industrial Court President Deborah Thomas Felix, and police hunt for the killer or killers who brutally murdered a mother and her 8-year-old son. I'm Avril Centel Bab. That was News 2, 7 o'clock on Power 102 Digital. Look out for more news in detail at 12 noon today and an update coming up at 8 o'clock this morning. For more details, log on to power102fm.com.
Up to date and credible. Power 102 Digital.
Alrighty. Thank you so much, AV, for our major news. Of course, you can join her again come 8 o'clock for our news brief. And then with Sir Charles at Major News at noon. Right here on the program, keeping it real. Let's take a look at traffic, see what's happening on the highways and the byways. PR code towards Orange Grove, not too bad. And then from, McCoy, I should say. And then from McCoy to UE, it's a bit sticky. But after that, it's clear. Straight into Port of Spain. Eastern Main Road, no issues, just by the Eastern Main Road by Uriah Butler intersection. It's a bit sticky going through San Juan. Is a bit sticky. Nothing out of the West Chaguanas Main Road. That's a sticky one this morning. Leaving Couva to Calcutta's to Chase Village, also a bit sticky in some parts. Of course, Riverhead Road. It's moving, but you got some volume. Nothing to tell you about in the Southland. All right, quick traffic update for you. All right, let's see if we have any more votes, gentlemen, for our morning poll.
We actually do.
Josie Richardson says yes. Lorna Kalu Singh, good morning to you. Yes, the poll. Morning, Indy. Morning, Kali. Diana Benskin. Answer the poll.
Well, she didn't give an answer.
No, it just says yes. Yeah. Let me just check WhatsApp here quickly. See
Ingrid,
if I
hold on, you have two more also. Beauty Culture and Ingrid Adams also voted yes.
Okay, great. And I got Cascade St. Anne this morning. Cascade St. Anne. No. All right. So that's the end of our vote. Of course, our poll will stay up until tomorrow morning when we give you the final results. All right. What we got there, Wendell, so far?
So our question was, do you agree with Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley participating in talks in St. Vincent on Thursday between Presidents Ali and Maduro? We had 25 saying yes, you do agree that he should participate, and 3 said no. All right, 25 saying yes, 3 saying no. All right, of course, those talks are scheduled to take place tomorrow in St. Vincent. And yeah, so we'll see where it goes after that. Christmas is coming. I'm sure everybody will drop everything and go and celebrate and eat the ham and the turkey and they drink the sorrel and ginger beer. That's what we do. And Christmas time, we don't take stress, you know. Nobody takes stress. I've known of nowhere in the world that has war and all kind of craziness going on during a Christmas period. I don't know. It's almost like if it's an automatic thing to just drop it and stop it, you know? And everybody go and try to celebrate and the birth of Christ, you know? So I'm sure that is what is going to happen in this case. It's probably going to happen also too in the Gaza, and it's going to happen in Russia and Ukraine. All of them going to stop. That's the power of this celebration of the birth of Christ. That's how powerful it is. You understand that regardless of what you're going through, you drop what you're doing, you try to help somebody, you help a neighbor, you help a school, you help a community. Everybody gets into that giving, loving spirit. Most people, that is, into that giving, loving spirit around this time of the year. They forgive family, they forgive friends, and they just have fun. It's a time for families to come together. I know that happens regularly in our family. We don't need Christmas to come together, but Christmas time, of course, we always enjoy it. You know, they do this gift exchange thing where you have to pick a name. I always tell them I'm not participating in that again because I always used to get names and then whoever get my name, I never used to get my gift. So I called with them one year and I said, I'm done with this. And guess what? I picked names again this year. Ah, Lord. Never a dull day in the Stephen household. Richard, I'm not hearing you.
Yeah, okay. You gave the results?
Mm-hmm. I did. I got 25-3.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. And of
25
course, our
saying
poll
yes.
this morning was, do you agree with PM Dr. Keith Rowley participating in the talks in St. Vincent on Thursday, which is tomorrow, between Presidents Ali and Maduro? Of course, you can continue to vote on this poll throughout the day through our programming, and we'll give you the final results tomorrow morning, which will be Thursday and the beginning of the weekend, at least from midnight on Thursday.
Mm-hmm. I think I saw a picture or video of the botanical gardens, but by Ministry of Agriculture around the savannah there. Looks very pretty. They always light up there. Apparently, it was done recently.
Okay.
So
I think the star is back up. Do you see the star from where you are? Usually you see it.
You have to remind me tonight to look for it.
Yeah, because I think it's, in my mind, I think it's a little lower this year. I don't know why, but it's a full star. It's not quarter of a star like it was last year.
That's my morning porch. I generally don't go out there any night, but I could go out tonight and see.
Yeah, and look and see if you see the star any distance. I don't know why I think it's lower, but maybe I'm wrong. Seems lower to me. Of course, the rest of Arima is just devoid of any Christmas. They put up a Christmas tree close to the market. Usually they light up a tree there. It used to be a live tree. Arimans could correct me if I'm wrong. It used to be a live tree, but now it's a very poor, in my opinion, where the lights make the tree. So there's no actual tree, but they just construct kind of lights to make a...
They must have a framing for that.
Kind of a triangular tree, but it looks, when I was there, I was opposite it yesterday, and I was like, well, that doesn't look very attractive. Maybe it looks better in the night when it's lit, but in the daytime, it looks kind of pathetic, if that's the correct adjective. And of course, all of the poles that had the globes on top that would be different colors, all of those tops have been removed. I don't know why. And there seems to be no effort. And I don't know what to say again.
Lisa Morris Julian is having some sort of tree lighting thing in her area, I think, this weekend, if I'm not mistaken, because the office called me yesterday to get my email address to invite me. Some tree lighting thing. So I don't know what part of the district, because she's not Arima Central. She is Dabadi O'Meara is mostly Malabar area and so on, heading that way.
Oh, I don't know what's being lit there. I don't know.
She is having a tree lighting.
Arima Central is devoid of any decorations. And I remember years ago, I mean, in recent years, it has been well done, as you know, Wendell. And prior to that, it was very consistently done. I'm talking about decades ago growing up. It used to be consistently done, was consistently an effort made. But like
you mean by the park, by the church?
Not the park, I'm talking about the streets of Arima. They used to string lights across, going down. They used to do all sorts of things when I was growing up. And then, of course, in fairly recent years, they used to make a real effort. And then it stopped and it became erratic. And I don't know what's going on. So the last
George Hadid,
when
he was mayor,
and this one apparently is not very good at this either.
George Hadid, when he was mayor, restarted that lighting up that in the streets, and then Lisa continued it. After that, I think it became a struggle.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen, I'm going to make a call to Zarin. He's a member of the...
He's the leader of the A-Team band, with which Ricardo and Patrice toured.
The A-Team band wasn't Roy K. band?
No.
Okay.
It's a different band. Ricardo did work with Roy K for a while.
Was it that guy who what's his name again? The A-Team is Charles, Eddie Charles?
At some points, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I do have Zarin online. Good morning, Zarin. Welcome to the Paul Breakfast Show. Of course, Paul Richard Rugobaris again. Wendell Stephen is together with me.
Hi, morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Zarin. Please accept our deepest condolences at the passing of your colleague, Ricardo.
Morning, Paul. Thanks again.
How are you all doing?
Well, at this point, We're going through the motions, still processing, so it's tough.
Yeah, I can imagine it is. I mean, never in your wildest dreams, I think you would have thought you'd be having this conversation with us this morning, would you? Clearly.
Yeah, especially after Sunday, with our last performance at Central Bank, talking to him Monday night, letting me know he coming in the country, but don't worry, I'm coming straight from the airport, I come in rehearsals, so then to hear that news, it was a shock to everybody.
How is Patrice?
Well, definitely she's not, she's not in a good place, based on when I saw her last night,
Yeah, she's probably just in total shock.
Yeah, as of everybody, unexpected.
Yeah, and Lily is how old now?
I don't know. I really don't know.
I think she's five or six. Zarin, what information do you have, if any additional information from what has already been in the public domain about him being found unresponsive and being rushed to hospital? Can you just walk us through what you heard happened?
Well, basically, I am getting the news from what is in the media also. We don't really have a direct source in Antigua. So, just what you heard in the news from the Antigua Observer and that other Antigua newspaper is basically the same thing we heard. That he woke up. They met him in his room, unresponsive.
Had he complained about feeling unwell at all on Sunday?
No, nothing of that sort. In high spirits. Saturday night into Sunday morning, high spirits.
Well, I guess because I'm sure you all had quite a number of gigs planned into Christmas, into Carnival, with both Ricardo and Patrice. So, and this is the season where a lot of corporate events, I know you all are heavily booked. What is the plan if you had time to think about that at all?
Well, honestly, we don't have a plan B right now. But this weekend we have customs. When everything happened, actually yesterday I told them we have to cancel. So far we have had 2 jobs this weekend that we had to cancel. Because even if we get a replacement, the rest of the band is still not, in that zone. And you don't want to put them out there and, they're not able to deliver the high standard that each team are custom delivering.
I don't think any person who booked you expects the band and or Patrice to be on a stage at this point. I think most of them will understand, if not all.
You would think so.
I know it might be a little too early to tell, but do you know where his last rites will be? Whether it's in Trinidad or in St. Lucia?
No, it's
I don't.
Antigua. Sorry, Antigua. My apologies.
Yeah, I don't know, but what I do know, Patrice is going to Antigua today, so I guess this morning. So I guess by the end of the day we should probably know something, or they might send out something.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm hoping she has a support system with her.
Yeah, she does. She have a very big support system.
That's excellent to know. And how is the band? How are the band members coping with this?
Not good at all. Not good at all. Not good at all, because it just moved from all of us being together at Central Bank to the next day or the following day, to hear about the situation.
Share your what can you share with us about Ricardo as a person, as an entertainer, as a professional?
As an entertainer, to me, he is one of the greats, I would say, in terms of taking a crowd from 0 and bringing them up to 10. Because sometimes I see we go to events and I would say, boy, this one looking like a hard one, boy, but what will you do? And they would just change up the set and, get it the way it is. As a person, I think he's one of the more genuine ones I have met, and we always were straight up with each other. Strange enough, he born July the 30th, I born July the 30th. 2 Leos, and always had a good rapport.
What are the next couple of days for you gonna be like?
I don't know. I don't even know how to start. I I know I have to sort out some of these booking arrangements. I don't even know how to start where that is concerned. But hopefully after the funeral and all of that, we could probably try and regroup and, come back with some.
Well, no one can have a backup plan for anything like this.
No backup plan. I'm not fooling anybody. We really don't have a backup plan, but, something definitely would have to happen.
All right. Well, thank you for talking to us on such short notice. Again, condolences to you, the band. I know the band is a family, and certainly for Trace and their daughter and their family, Nicola, his mom, and the rest, his 2 brothers, because he has 2 brothers that are also in mourning.
Yeah. Also, we putting together a candlelight vigil at the band room on Park Street on Friday, right? Which would have, most of the entertainers and stuff like that. So I would send something to you all when we have it all together. It was only planned like 2:00 this morning. Just had to get some of the permission to use the yard and all of that, and let's keep you all up to date.
Yeah, well, you have my number, so.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Zarin, anything you want to say before we wrap up?
Right, at this point, I still don't know what to say, still in shock, but thanks for the support, condolences to Ricardo, to family, and, just thanks to everybody for supporting the band and Ricardo's family.
Any fond memories come to mind? You say his name and a funny time came up that you want to share with us? You have plenty, doesn't it?
It's not too much, right? Too much. But he was always a jovial person. That's one thing I could say. Always a jovial person. One of our last fun times was on Uber Soca Cruise. He find that I saying down too much. Get up.
You enjoyed the cruise.
Yeah. No, well, I was relaxing, but he find I should be getting up.
Yeah. Yeah. He always had a smile on his face.
Yeah. Good guy, man. Good guy.
And
Great
he would say,
personality.
yeah, I was just gonna say he wasn't like swell-headed or anything, you know. So you meet
Nah,
someone and it's just,
grounded.
exactly.
Grounded.
Zarin, I don't know what you can share, but I know they were engaged to be married. Was that planned anytime soon?
I don't know anything about that, Paul. I don't have any details. I just heard that, but to say I personally know, no, I don't.
Okay, all right. Thanks again.
All right, Zarin, thank you so much. And once again, condolences to you and the band, and it really is a shocker.
Thanks again.
All the best.
Back for 1 or 2. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's definitely tough.
In one of the newspapers today, I think they said it was, is it next year that they were supposed to be married?
Yeah.
I don't know where they got the information from, but that's what it is.
Because she was on a radio station the same morning with Sensational Sammy.
Yeah, that was yesterday morning.
That was just yesterday morning.
That was yesterday morning.
Yeah. Patrice was being interviewed on that station and said so. So that's where they would have gotten that information from.
But I was with Just Jace too.
Was Just Jace? I'm not sure. I'm not sure too. But I know the Sensational Sammy posted a picture of both of them posing after the interview. You know?
Okay.
But they showed you it last night on the news. They showed you her in the studio doing the interview and showing the ring. And that was 10 o'clock in the morning, I think. And at midday, he died. 2 hours later, he passed. That Ole promised me something on national radio this morning. If I die whilst I'm still around and on radio, don't call any of my family to interview them. Oh, it is the most painful. I don't know what to say when it comes to interviews like this. But don't call them, eh? Sure.
I think people will be calling.
Just play a lot of music. Play a lot of Andrea Bocelli. Play a lot of music. Juan Luis Guerra. Play a lot of music for me, right? My God.
So, can we open up the lines and take some calls at this point? Because it's, what time is it? It's 7:37 a.m. on this Wednesday morning. So we could probably open up the lines. We would have discussed several issues this morning. Well, the main issues that are circulating, and of course, you would have also heard that interview, and you would have heard about the shock death of Ricardo Drew yesterday. So we could take some of your calls on this Wednesday morning.
Yeah, so 222-8255, toll-free North Americans, 866-525-1099. Good morning.
Good morning, Steve.
Morning, dear.
Morning, Dr. Paul.
Good morning.
Stephen and Richard.
Morning.
So, first of all, condolences to Ricardo Drew and his family. I'm sorry, Ricardo Drew's family, Patrice, his daughter, and other children, and so on. His mom as well, Miss Nicola. Anyway, the first time I saw him perform at a party, he was quite young at that time at Bishop's. And I say, what do I boy to gyrate? Like, even though I stand up watching, I didn't dance, and I just look at him gyrating, and he has such a good voice.
You could say he was drooling, you could say that if you want.
So wait, Ms. Dabadi, let me draw this picture for you. You up in the front in a Bishop's Fete. You just stand up watching Ricardo Drew wine. You up in front.
Yeah, time to dance. I want to see him.
She was drooling.
My goodness.
He was like, wow. I said, it was like he had oil on him or something, It was like amazing, But oh gosh, I was like shocked, yes, when I heard that. I say, oh, young man said I just so, Oh my goodness. But I mean, he has lived a good life, and he was very talented, I must say. So that was that. Now my other point with Deborah Thomas Phillips, I know her personally. She encouraged me at some years when I was pretty young to be part of a woman's, those professional woman thing, which I didn't really like. I just went because she invited me a couple of times. After a while, I dropped out, but we became friends still. And she is a very intelligent woman, I must say. She is very intelligent. So, but I mean, they say, remember, you're on contract, right? So the thing is, how I look at it, how it was done, even though we're not sure that is the way it was done, if you were just given 2-3 days notice, that was not really in good taste. But remember, on contract, you could be removed at any time. And nobody complained that she was doing a bad job. So I'm sorry for, but let me tell you, she will get some other job in some part of the island because she was there already for some years, So I don't worry about her being employed anywhere. She will be getting good jobs anywhere. And my final point, I had voted no in the poll this morning Because if Guyanese president, who is the center of the thing, said he is not discussing Essequibo, what does he talk about? What are you going to talk about again? That's the main issue. So I disagree with that. So you
That was
have
my interpretation of it too. I think they're just going and drink punch cream and eat pastel.
I feel I want to let Christmas lime and smart. You have a good day.
All right, take care.
All right, thank you.
I think Dr. Rowley realized they weren't talking to Essequibo. We're going to talk some oil deal, yes?
Yeah, something like get something
We're
out of this.
talking about what could happen for Trinidad and Jamaica because you don't say ain't talking no Essequibo already, so never a dull moment. It is a difficult time, and let me tell you. We're hurtling to the end of the year.
You know, at this time last year, a few days ago, I was laying in a hospital bed in West Shore, you know, doing an angiogram. It was the scariest day of my life, where I had to be put, well, not local anesthetics, and have a tube inserted up from my wrist all the way up to inside my chest. It was the scariest day of my life. I will never forget it.
Is that what happens when you have a broken heart? They have to do an angiogram?
I don't know. Well, they found the heart intact. They found it as hard and as sturdy as possible. Thank God. You understand? Dr. Clifford Thomas, he is one of the best. Morning, Dr. Thomas.
So your heart is intact.
Intact. They said, but what was causing your problem? I say, well, I don't know, because I just come from Grenada. I just come from Grenada.
You know what caused the problem.
I think I know, you know, but it was scary, and I don't wish illness on anybody. I don't wish any stressful situation on anybody at all. It is not easy. And I was there all alone because I didn't really tell anybody. And so I just checked in myself, and they advised me to not drive home. I did, because they said, make sure someone is there to pick you up. I drove myself home. And that was the end of that. Thank God nothing was found to be untoward, and I thank God for that.
You just want to check to make sure. It
was serious enough for the doctor to advise that I have this procedure done. When he tell me, look, I have marks all over my body because they had to find a place to go into my heart.
The heart is so closed. They didn't have an easy place to get into the heart. It was so closed and frozen.
Listen, the three places they go through is your wrist,
your groin,
your ankle, down by your ankle, that vein there, or by your groin. Those are the three places. The man lying down next to me, they went through his groin.
I wonder why they chose your wrist.
Well, because they got through. Thank God they got through with going through my wrist. Because the next choice would have been by the groin. And nobody goes near my groin, just like that.
Just like that. Good morning. I'm not saying a word.
Not while you're sober.
Not when I'm sober. I like that.
Good morning, caller.
Yeah, morning.
Hey, Mr. Patrick.
Morning.
Morning.
I was in New York the other day. I was in a show in a big party with the mayor and Patricia, what was the feature artist? You know? So I could recall that. I think I saw him as of the two, you know? That guy. I ain't sure, but I called to say, is it this thing called the heart, but for the past week, I hear about 4 people fall down and they have heart attack. I said, young people.
Mm-hmm.
A lady went to drop she daughter to school, and when she was going back home, the man fall down and dead. I live in our home son. Massive heart attack. And now this guy Ricardo Jew, and I hear about the next situation.
You always have stories.
Disease? Huh?
I said, Mr. Patrick, you always have a story to suit every single event.
Boy, you don't listen to news. You live in Arima, you know about that. You live in Arima.
Oh, Lord.
This young lady, I talking about, she was an ex-police officer, retired, a woman about 40-something to 50. Job she daughter, that a big funeral here. What I'm saying, this heart problem, boy. I don't know if it's a heart disease. Sometimes you don't know. And a partner and I had a talk recently. He said, boy, you see when it comes to your heart, boy, you doesn't know why. You doesn't know why when then.
I know. I know exactly what you're speaking about.
Yeah, but part of it is also, you know, from a Trinidad and Tobago perspective, you know, your diet always matters with regard to your heart. And I had sent some. I think Paul had sent it. Where in Singapore, they have now, well, for people who assess blue countries, I think they call it blue countries, where you have where your age limit moves towards almost 100 and stuff like that. Blue regions across the planet where people live exceptionally long, and apparently Singapore has now moved to that where the average lifespan is over 80, etc. And they were saying how they achieved it. Part of how they achieved it is that they subsidized healthy food and they taxed unhealthy food. So they taxed fast food and unhealthy food, and healthy alternatives they subsidized, so they made that even more accessible to people.
Steve, Richard Agbazing, this year, two main basketball man and a football fan in America, Williamson, collapsed on the court, and then the young fellas. You came down?
No, I can't remember it, but
Williamson, boy. This
issues are never sudden, though, eh?
The famous basketball son.
Yeah, I'm saying issues of the heart are never sudden. There's always some sign that you may have ignored or that somebody would have missed. It's never sudden.
LeBron James son collapsed on the basketball court. You forget that?
LeBron James, yes.
And our next footballer, these young fellas active, running, jumping, and heart, boy. It's a serious issue. It's a serious issue. So, may the man rest, the family get strength, and to Sister Roberts, we will pray for your sister. We can't do nothing more than that. If you get strength for you and your daughter. All right, take care.
Okay, Mr. Patrick, thank you very much. That was a good little
Thank you, Mr. Patrick. Good morning.
Good morning, I guess, gentlemen.
Morning.
Well, I want to send my condolences to family of Ricardo Drew and to Patrice, my dear. I could understand how broken up your heart is, but keep the faith. We all have to go that road, but you know, when the person goes that young, it's very, very, very sad. I'm really, really heartbroken about that for. When you said something earlier, and I'm not calling the part of your body, you know where you referred to, but I don't agree with you, you know.
My ankle?
That part must be visited very often, and I would believe that's why you go to Ghana.
Yes, so. Let's go back to scandalizing me on radio, you.
Say, well, what I said, I said that part. I ain't called only, I ain't called no farm. Say, you maybe doctors, you must be the one to go there. But when you say nobody goes, no, rephrase that.
Richard crystallized it in the end.
Paul?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, mama.
Richard? Richard,
yes.
Do you agree with Wendell?
Well, would I agree with him?
Yes. You believe he talking the truth?
Well, I qualified it and said only unless the alcohol is involved. And that statement goes out the window.
Paul, I'm not hearing his. Oh, all right, Paul, you keep silent.
What you want to hear?
If you agree with what Wendell said.
About what? But that's said a lot. But nobody goes in that easily.
That part that nobody goes there yet.
But when they would know, I wouldn't be there, so I wouldn't be able to count to that information. I know about you. I know you insist on people.
I don't be there, but I don't believe that. Anyhow, Richard.
Yeah.
Richard, I'm not hearing anything. You know, it didn't make such a big news. Even on the radio about Alan's son. I was also shocked when I heard that. What was
I told you, I know his one of his sons is my godson. He'd had diabetes for a while. He was challenged with that for a while. So when people say it was sudden, he'd been having health challenges for a while.
Oh, okay, okay.
People suddenly die in accidents. People suddenly die in fires. People suddenly die in things like that. People don't suddenly die out of health challenges. They don't suddenly.
And you're right. They always, you might know that they have business, but they would have been having issues before.
Yeah.
It was that one was very sad coming so soon after the father.
I have a question for you.
Man, I'll probably call back if the line.
Zena, what are you making for us next week to send for us to eat or drink?
Yes, Zena, let's hear you.
I don't make anything for anybody. I even make anything for myself.
We didn't ask you that.
Well, if I make it for myself, I'm gonna make the send for somebody.
Definitely.
I know you do a wicked roast poultry.
Oh Lord, you know that.
I know your roast poultry is extremely tasty.
Richard, you hearing this?
That you can get if you come. But me ain't saying that. I ain't saying I ain't making do it nothing for myself or anybody.
Oh, that's for me alone. Okay.
Yeah, but you know, when you get under that pain and blanket. Oh, all right, gentlemen.
All right, Zena.
Okay, Zena, bye-bye.
Full day.
You too. Have a good one. Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Morning.
Morning. Yes, Lincoln, go ahead.
I wanted to correct Mr. Trincity. Fitness have nothing to do with heart condition. Right? Being athletic have nothing to do with good or bad heart condition. Because your best we have had so many instances right here in Trinidad and Tobago when national footballers and fit athletes drop down on the field with a heart attack. So because you're athletic doesn't mean that you have a good heart.
Or appear to be fit.
Or appear to be fit. Right?
But I have a friend, she's extremely slender, runs all the time, and she has a massive cholesterol problem. So much so that she's on medication and she's in extremely good physical health. Appearance-wise, extremely in shape. Small, petite person, but she has a serious cholesterol problem. You understand? So the appearance of her doesn't sometimes indicate your cardiovascular health.
No.
Correct.
That's a fact.
In my recruit training, we had not one, but two members of my batch died from heart failure, from heart attack. Right? And prior to that, I had a neighbor who was lying on the block, normal. He said, well, we can play football. He said, okay, you remember and get some shoes. And just jog home to get some sneakers and jump down in front of the house there. Appearing to be fit, as you rightly said, Paul, doesn't mean that you're physically fit or your heart is in good condition. Right?
Look at Wendell. Hard. And he had in good condition.
My problem is that my heart was broken into so many pieces that it's trying to come back together. That's the problem with my heart. The broken pieces are trying to rejoin, and that's causing the problem.
Well, I stayed out of that one. All right. Have a good one, dear gentlemen.
All right, take care.
Hey, mate, Paul.
Yes,
Paul,
sir.
I have a next question. I have a next question for you. I have a next task for you. Could you find out the police officer that was arrested? Could you find out if she has been released?
Which police officer has been arrested? I'm not aware.
You have to say which.
Arrested in the murder.
Which murder?
The incident that happened. Where did it happen, Steve? You might remember better than me.
Gotta narrow it down for me.
Police did a raid last week or week before, and they say the man had a gun, and they say they raided the place at 4:00 in the morning, and the wife was sitting in the living room.
Oh, that one.
Right. And
where they took the socket camera and so on.
Correct. The bulb camera bulb. Right? And they detained the wife, who happened to be an SRP police officer. Right? And since her detention, no media has asked for her, nobody has interviewed her to find out if the story that the police gave is the accurate, is her version of the story. If she has been released.
This is where the man died?
Yes.
Her partner who the police came to arrest, and there were conflicting stories about how he died. The police said he grabbed something that looked like a weapon. Interesting choice of words. And she was an officer, and she was also there at the time. And she I didn't know she was arrested, but I have heard nothing more.
I didn't know she was arrested either.
Remember, I didn't know she was arrested, but remember the police investigations are the twilight zone in this country.
Yeah, because we're still waiting on feedback of the three young men that was shot in Port of Spain. That Mr. Jacobs said that they had the video and would release the video in, was it 6 weeks?
Lincoln, were you an officer sometime in Trinidad and Tobago?
Police officer, no.
Were you army personnel?
I was an military army officer.
You really want to fight the police 20 years ago?
Funny?
No, being facetious.
You ever see Lincoln? Nobody ain't going up against Lincoln, you know. You ever see him?
Lincoln, I remember red hair at one point. Is it the same Lincoln?
And he was towering above everybody.
With a red mohawk.
Yes, that same one. Anybody going up against it?
Driving in Brooklyn, I remember.
You saw me driving in Brooklyn?
With red hair.
Yeah.
He had red hair in CIC Fed last year.
I have access to CCTV cameras and body cams in New York because they wear them consistently.
Because they wear them,
and they don't jump up and fall off because they Alexander said they jump up and fall off. We have one more days? 16 more days.
16 more days? Is that next year 11? Just sometime in January?
Hopefully it's the end of the year.
I'm wondering if by the end of the show after
and when they appoint the DCP, they never know what will happen after that.
Well, I know what Lincoln and Carol go do. When that's so done.
They ain't done. But the show go done because one person in there? Come on. Really?
You know what is a good question to also ask, Paul? How much is the TTPS paying for that show for the last 8 years? How much they're paying per year for that show? Because we know they're spending $2 million. We know they're spending $2 million a month on a vehicle that yielded no results. Not what I say, what them say. And it packed up right now because the technology and it outdated or have bugs in it, but they're still paying $2 million a month for it. And Trinidadians are comfortable with that. So what I asked the question, what else they're paying us exorbitant money for?
Well, if it's an on-ring show and it provides content for TV6, it may be an arrangement where they pay nothing or they share the advertising or the advertising that comes in the show stays with TV6.
This is the question that I'm asking you to find out through your office. This is the question that I'm asking.
Lincoln,
the thing is all good.
Lincoln, I only have a few questions I could ask. I ain't wasting the question on that.
All right then. Well, no, they were asking in your what you call it, consultation or whatever. You could ask it to somebody off the record and get the answer.
But I understand the madam says she's not coming to any GSCs anymore. So
Oh boy.
And I don't know how long. Anyway, let me not say that. It's 8 o'clock. Then can you have a good day? Go and deal with your cold weather.
All right, brother.
You all have a wonderful day. Please be safe.
Is it
Merry
8 o'clock
Christmas,
already?
season's greetings, Feliz Navidad, and all that good stuff.
Alrighty, folks, have a wonderful day. Remember to let go and let God. Rumbox is celebrating their anniversary this week. We were 3 years old on December 11th, so
Free
we
drinks?
celebrated on Friday.
Free drinks?
3 years already. Well, for qualified customers, we'll have a free drink on Friday. So
Okay,
you're welcome
I'll
to
be-
come down by Rumbox on Friday.
I'll
For
be there.
qualified customers. Harper will decide who qualifies.
Harper look like you could well drink too.
Oh God, don't start that talk now. It's too late for that talk, Richard. Don't start that talk about Harper and drinking.
Oh God. Anyway, have a fantastic day. And remember to smile and laugh. It's great for your health. Have a good one, people.